I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, say this is Righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick-Nick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick-Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right, good afternoon, people. Welcome to the show. I am Man, and you are so many different names. Big up Uno Celsius. You understand me? Up and running. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. We're here still in the Sunshine State, as they call it. Yes, it is. Florida. Live and up and running. Listen, I see some very special, well, not going to use special, I'm going to use exceptional people in the building. Bless up on yourself. Anthony Mac, you should be seeing me. I should be dropping on your block. You understand me? Tomorrow, you understand me? If I pass through, big up yourself. Anthony Mac, the former stats man. Up, and running. KY. Blessings. Triple E, not triple A. Paul Watkins. Jason. Listen, Jason, big up, People, Jason is a blessing, You understand me? I mean, we met at the and I had one request of Jason, and he said, man, don't worry about it. Bam. And in a jiffy, in less than 24 hours, he made a commitment and he fulfilled that obligation. So publicly, I want to say a big thank you to the man them called Jason. You understand me? BM. No, man. We're here. You understand me? But big up to all the faithful, loyal supporters of I Am Sure Sports. You're the ones who continue to help with our growth by sharing our content and helping us to reach other people. When you share it, you understand me? Really appreciate all of you. I know sometimes we have some very heated debate, but that is just how sport is. I always tell people, if we're all in agreement at all the times, something is definitely wrong with some of us, right? And it's better for us to have honest, clean, and good discourse and move on, right? And and know that we're doing it for what we call the good of the sport, or the good of the event, or the good of the organization that we are a part of. Nothing is wrong with good public discourse as long as it is done in a respectful way and people are free to express themselves with a desire and an ambition to do what is best, like I said, for the organization. You understand me? So bless up yourself. You'd have seen some of the work that we have been doing. If not, check out the platform. I'm putting up some videos because I am challenging the JFF to look at some of these options, right? Sometimes I've heard people say in at certain points that, almost they want to give the impression that I have a problem with players living in the diaspora representing Jamaica. And nothing is more far from the truth than that. Nothing like that, all right? My desire is that every person, those living on the island and those off the island, must be given the same opportunity to represent the country of their birth or heritage. All right? There we go. All right? We have to do that. And so we assiduously work things happening and those things being done. And what we can do, I'm not here to show up the federation, but I'm here to let the federation understand that there is a myriad of opportunities and open doors that lies ahead of them outside of the geographical borders of Jamaica that they can tap into. And I know one of the things they'll say, but we don't have any money. A lot of these things is maximizing social capital. And by that, you know what I mean. Talking about good, healthy, and strong relationship with the right people, and you can have great success at limited expenses to the organization itself. That's what I want the federation to see. That in every area you can think of related to the sports of football, you have more than enough resources to run a world-class, professional, well-funded program. But a couple things are important. Tapping into social capital. And not only that, operating at the highest level of integrity and character. Because here's the thing. What you project sometimes determines, right? What you put out determines what comes back into you. And if how you project yourself and how the organization is projected in the eyes of the people, there is a lack of character, accountability, and integrity, then people will refuse to put resources in it. All right? A case in point. All right, there's a recent, and I want to speak to the coaches and leaders. While you're a part of an organization, and this includes me, and many times I've heard even persons who come on these platforms say that we should not expose our dirty laundry in the public. And that's a common Jamaican saying, meaning when there are issues in the organization, issues in the family, those things must be sorted out privately before there is public discourse. So what that means. And even if you're a Bible person, you know the scripture teaches that. The scripture teaches you that if you and somebody have a fault, go to them one-on-one. If that doesn't work, you bring a witness. That doesn't work, you take it to higher level leadership. And then if that doesn't work, you bring it out public so everybody can be aware. Too often, the issue with many industries in Jamaica is that the discourse we have, we go public first before we have private discourse. So if there's an issue, the first thing many people do, and even the vloggers, even I'll say, if the vloggers want to climb a next level up to where what mainstream media is, one of the things we're going to have to learn in this space is before we make something public, that we have private discourse with it. So we seek to resolve it behind the scenes before we bring the issue to the public. Now, the recent spot, I think, with the coach of the female team, very good coach, Lauren Donaldson, have a lot of respect for him. But the the recent discourse between Lauren Donaldson and Dennis Chung, there's a lot of gaps. I will not divulge into it because I think in the interest of the female program, it is very important that we allow the process to be completed, meaning up the way, up to the World Cup, before we bring out some of these things. But I want you to look at the discourse. Listen to what Lauren Donaldson said and listen to what Dennis Chung said. And what you'll find is that there's a large, a big, a massive disparity between both persons, though they have been in dialogue with each other. So it is obvious that one person went and spoke publicly before having private discourse. Listen to it. And so there was a counter to shoot that down, which is, we can deduce from that what was said first is not the whole truth. Listen to it, because monies have been spent. So let me give you what I deduce, what I extrapolated from the conversation of Lauren Donaldson and the conversation of Dennis Chung. Here's what I understood from what I've heard so far and read. There was a plan in place with a budgeted amount in place. All right? What happened is that something came up, lots of money was spent. Resources were eaten up. All right? Resources were eaten up, resources were used, and something else needs to be done. And because that is not done, there is an argument. But if we have a budget and we use the resources in the budget, then if an event cannot be held because we have tapped out in terms of the budget, then we have to go back and look at how can it happen and not make it public. If you remember, because here's one of the things I don't understand, me personally. How at this point we want to have a camp to look at other players? Are we serious about football? When we just had a tournament in Australia, we want to have a next camp. These things must be taken into consideration. The camp that we should be having is one, in my opinion, a massive send-off for these young ladies in Jamaica, government, everyone involved, to send them off to their second World Cup, where their big parades are held for them, training in the best facility, staying in the best hotels in Jamaica, probably do part in one of the proper hotels in Montego Bay, one in Kingston, with a couple of camps, meeting some people and stuff like that before they go off. And then there's a camp that will generate funds to keep a long camp for the players who have already been selected. These are the things we should be looking at this stage if we're going to be serious about the World Cup. Every time I hear about the girls and money, here's what the people, because people talk to me, they use all the money that is for the girls to take care of all the programs for the boys. So there is how I perceive things when I talk to the people involved in female football is that the only money that has been generated in terms of income for football in Jamaica has come from female football. Male football has never had anything financially to do with any football. It is the female who have brought in the money into the coffers. And here's what happened. When they want money from the money that they have brought in, they can't get it because all the money is being used for the boys. That is how I perceive it. Maybe I'm very shallow in my thinking, but it always comes across that way. Here's what I know. In my household, regardless of my wife's income, it's ours. When money comes in to the federation, if the men's team have a major contract We're the sign because of them. Because in Jamaica, the male team generate more sponsorship and fan support right now than the females. For years, a lot of the money that came into our football came through the 1998 campaign. Some of that was used for female football. So as far as my shallow mind and brain and thinking tells me, the men's program, the senior men's program, oftentimes have helped to support other programs. All right? So, say the female win the World Cup. They win the World Cup and they get 10 billion Jamaican dollars. Are we suggesting that that $10 billion should not be used to do anything else but to give to female football alone? Is that how we're going to run the football? And when the men win the Gold Cup or they qualify for the World Cup and they get big sponsorship, we should not give the under 15 female team any money. We should separate. We can't operate like that. So I often say to people, when things need to be done, there's a budget presented. Then whether it is male or female, the federation has a responsibility of finding money. But when money comes in, it cannot be female money, male money, under 15 money, under 17 money, under 20 money, unless it is stipulated by FIFA to go directly to that cause. And if it is that FIFA says give $10 out of this $11 to the female, and the JFF give it to the men's team, then here's what happened. The JFF will be in problems. I put it to you, people of Jamaica, yard and abroad, that the next financial, because remember, the same committee that's in Trinidad operating their football should have taken over Jamaica. The only reason why it didn't happen is because they brought on a new GenSec. And that GenSec has come on and they presented documents to FIFA, giving them a timeline. Because I guarantee you that the next time, if we don't be fiscally responsible to deal with the gigantic deficit we have financially as a federation, then FIFA is going to step in. And I tell you, when FIFA step in, a lot of these things that we're arguing about will stop because there will be way less resources. So I just wanted to talk about that. I think the discourse should have taken place privately, not publicly. Now, sponsors, I did say that. If a sponsor comes in and say, we want to give $10 to the Reggae girls, the $10 goes to them. Right? But if $100 comes in for Jamaica's football, are we suggesting that it must go towards the men football because it wasn't stipulated alone? Because the men need it more? I don't agree with that. When the men win a program, if the men's team wins a program and they generate income from winning it or finishing in the final, once all the players are paid, once all the bills are covered, if there is excess, that sort of money should serve all football. That is the point I'm making. All right? One is, I'm saying it again. if the Reggae Boyz win on Sunday, we need to retrofit the Annie Palmer's house and turn it into Reggae Boyz Hotel. Oh, because they're at. Yeah. But we're going to get to the Jamaica game. Jamaica plays Mexico on Sunday. I think it's 8 p.m., 7 p.m., 9 p.m. some places. I don't even know. I'm so out of it in terms of time difference right now. So yeah, it's in the evening. All right. But let me also give you some results. There were some Nations League game that were played yesterday. I watched all the highlights. First thing, people are telling me that Suriname Debo says in the evening, before the game, we're going to talk about Trinidad's game as well, because they have a game. Man, just look at TNT and you'd realize that when FIFA steps in, is because TNT, quote-unquote, leaders have demonstrated their inability to administer football. There you go. Yeah. All right. The players leave Jamaica at 3 today. Chartered flight, I think. And people are asking about chartered, why the plane can't allow. So the plane that they charter is they didn't charter up like a flight. You know, normally an airplane can hold over 100 and odd people. It's not like that for this one. It's a 50-seater plane. So that means 50 people. So when you calculate the players, coaching staff and all of that, I think 38 seats have been, yeah. So to bring spectators into that is kind of a little bit too friendly. You need a bigger plane to have spectators, I would think. You probably have a couple of media persons who may travel with the team. So that makes up the numbers, right? All right. So people are saying, let me get to the Suriname game. All right. Suriname lost 2-0 to Mexico. People, do you remember that what Jamaica did to Mexico in Mexico when we did not carry some of our better players? We did not take some of our better players for the game in Mexico. We were outplayed, but we could have won the game. We were leading until the game in Jamaica. We also played well with a player being red carded when initially the referee didn't even give a foul. It was VAR that was almost just instituted in the whole Concacaf region while the player was red carded. That happened because we were denied a goal that was scored in the USA game. And there was a major outcry. So they had VAR for when we played Mexico at home. And it led to a player being red carded. We were holding them out until our right back was red carded. Now, somebody's going to look at that and they're going to say, oh, Suriname were good. Suriname played well. And I hear this whole thing that, oh, Suriname are ahead of Jamaica and they have passed Jamaica and all of that. Listen, until one of these teams can do what we do in the Gold Cup, there's nothing to prove that they have. All right? If it were Jamaica, if it were Corey Burke or Javan East, who missed some of those opportunities and were offside as much as the Suriname team, we would be cussing them. We'd be saying that they're not good. They should not have been in the national team. We wouldn't be here saying that, boy, them play good, but them lose because of Mexico. We would be up in arms about our players. So here's the thing. If when Jamaica play in the national stadium and we play with 10 men and should have won, and we say Jamaica not good, Suriname can't be at them yard and play with 10 players. And according to Uno miss chances, and then me if you come on my platform and say them good. Them not good. I guarantee you. So let me say this to you. We have this thing, right? that I tell you this, if Jamaica played Mexico the same way, and Corey Burke missed those chances, and Javan East was offside, would say that Javan East must go west. You saw how the Surinamese defender just basically stood up. Let Damian Lowe did that. Let Damian Lowe do the same thing that the Surinamese defender did against Mexico, and Jamaica concede. And our behavior would be different. So, your opinion is your opinion. And if you want to look at Suriname and say that they are better than Jamaica, that's your opinion. Until Suriname can consistently beat and dominate Jamaica, they are not better than Jamaica. If Jamaica, so let me, because some of you know that I'm doing some coaching where I'm at. Right? Let me say this. There are two things. So there's a difference between long ball. I was talking to Bibi. I think it was Ricardo Gardner. And he said yesterday that, no man, Jamaica no play long pass. In England, they don't play long ball. They play long pass. Jamaica play long ball. And his whole idea was, if Jamaica plays long, watch me. If Jamaica plays long passes and win the game, everything is good. Long passes. The issue is that we're not playing long pass. We're playing long ball. And that is the problem. We need to stop playing long ball and start playing long pass. The verdict is still out. You have a right to your opinion. Suriname is not better than Jamaica. They are not ranked higher than Jamaica. And Suriname don't consistently beat Jamaica. If you want to walk away and say, Suriname, who has lost, Suriname don't have a win yet, Jamaica have not lost a game yet. But still yet we say Suriname is better than us. That's you. That's you. That's you. So you have your opinion. So you keep your opinion. Let me say it again. Let me say it again. If Jamaica did, let me say it again. When Jamaica played Mexico at the stadium in World Cup qualifiers, when Lowe was red carded, Jamaica, watch me, Jamaica with 10 men, until our right back, Javian Brown, had cramps and came off the field, were in the game. These same people said that we are not good. We cannot play football. We miss opportunities. Suriname is ahead of us. Suriname plays Mexico in their own stadium. A better surface than Jamaica played Suriname when Jamaica went there, though. Want you to also remember that. Jamaica beat Suriname and drew with Suriname. Jamaica drew with Mexico. But still yet, there are people who say the players are not good, Jamaica is not good. If that centre back for Suriname, if it was Damian Lowe who allowed the second goal, and people talk about, oh, did you watch the game? Oh, did you watch the game? Listen, if Damian Lowe stood how that Suriname centre back stood up and that goal was scored, these same people would have said Damian Lowe should never play for Jamaica again. But still yet, they are going to tell you that the Suriname centre back is good. If it were a Jamaican team playing and the centre forward, let me say it again, you can't try to twist and turn all that, me say, no, you can't do that. If it were Javan East, Corey Burke, missed those opportunities and were offside, and we were doing player rating, the Jamaican fan base would give them 1 and 2, even negative numbers. But these said Jamaicans are going to tell you that the Surinamese player played well. If Jamaica should draw with Mexico in Mexico on Sunday, 0-0, and like they said, quote unquote, don't pass the ball around, but we come away from Mexico with a point, and we don't make 20, 30 passes, these same people will come and say Jamaica not good because result doesn't matter. Watch this. Suriname. I thank you for bringing up this, Dwight. Suriname had a stadium that was packed, having not won a game. Jamaica have 5 points. And I guarantee you that if Jamaica were playing in our national stadium against Mexico, we're not having 10% of the crowd. Though we have 5 points and we need it. If Jamaica played against what I call the B team of Mexico, because some of their better players are waiting to play Jamaica in Mexico, let me say it again. The Mexicans didn't bring their best set of players to play Suriname. Let them try that with Jamaica. Let them try that with Jamaica. Let me tell you this. If Jamaica play that Mexico team and don't get any points, hey, we would rip them to shreds. Because that's how we are. So today, Jamaicans are saying that Jamaica not good. There are people in this platform today listening and watching who are convinced that we can't beat Mexico, that we are not good. But they say Suriname, who lost the game, is a good team. And I'm telling you, they are convinced that Suriname is better than Jamaica. Listen, people talk about, oh, you're international. Listen, one of the persons in this club, Surinamese, where I'm at, in the States here. And so I said, listen, there's an argument that there's this argument going around that Suriname Suriname You know, is ahead of Jamaica. The man laughed. The man laughed and said, you know what he asked me? Are those people Jamaicans? Surinamese, who, interestingly, he has worked with the national team. And when I brought the question to him, the man from Suriname said, are the people saying that Jamaicans? So now I see Jason asks a question. He says, who is convinced Suriname is better? Where are these people? Let me ask the question, seeing that nobody believes so. People in the comment section, have you never heard on any YouTube platform, any commenters, callers, anybody saying that Suriname is a better team, national team is better than Jamaica? People, listen, when Jamaica was playing Suriname, people told me that they were going to beat us. I think even in the World Cup on this platform. So I don't know where people, all of a sudden, nobody's saying that Suriname is better than Jamaica. I don't understand this. So the dialogue has changed. All right, so people, let me say this. Don't let them try to shape the dialogue. Don't let them try to twist it about local and over. Nobody's having no discussion. Don't let people try to twist the dialogue. The same people who are talking about local and English-based players are the same people saying one Jamaica. Jamaica is Jamaica. Listen, the Jamaica is Jamaica. When they are out there, is not local-based players on internet. Jamaica is Jamaica. And either we are going to believe that or we don't. We can't be subjective in our reasoning. Sometimes we go, oh, we're talking the local base one versus the no. Jamaica is Jamaica. If you say that is one Jamaica, is one Jamaica. Win, lose, or draw, one Jamaica. So when Jamaica goes out there, it don't matter if a youth in the JPL playing or the EPL, a Jamaica name. We now have a JPL Jamaica and a EPL Jamaica, a Jamaica name. But nobody, well, you know what, people? I'm living up. I mean, I'm deluded because now that I understand, all I'm hearing now is that nobody has ever said that Suriname. So let's move on. We're going to change the discussion. Nobody ever believed that. Nobody ever said that. So it's pointless discussion. So we're going to move on. All right. So the truth is, nobody has ever said that Suriname can beat Jamaica. Nobody has ever said that Suriname is better than Jamaica. So let's move on. We're done with that. So let's go on. All right. So today, no, I know they remark. Yeah, man. Listen, they even recorded me because they were hoping in the Gold Cup and in the first leg of the Nation League that Suriname would have beat Jamaica. When me tell them, say Suriname cannot. My brethren, I had a big debate with my brethren, formula about this on this platform and on his. When he said there were leaps and bounds. And now all of a sudden, Mannings is the deluded one. We have players We have players in this Jamaica team are in the World Cup campaign. Alvas Powell. Let me say it again. Alvas Powell, Kemar Taxi Lawrence, Damian Lowe, Andre Blake. Do you remember that these guys played Mexico in the Gold Cup and beat them? Played USA in the Gold Cup and beat them, some of these players? So we can say they are past their time. None of these people, from my little knowledge, because you have the brilliant ones, I'm not. Humble youth. I cannot recall any of these federations having such administrative issues that works against the welfare of the players like the JFF and the Jamaica national senior men's team. And for them to be able to get some of the results and still be the number one Concacaf team is fascinating. I put it to you again, people, that if administratively, Leon Bailey had said it from before the campaign, if administratively we function just a wee little bit like a potty shop, would have qualified for the World Cup. With the players we have, though some of them I don't really rate personally, and I think say them to step aside. Because there are some of the players that I not think ready for it right now, you know. But I will tell you this, in spite of all of that, if we in that campaign had proper administrative functioning people who operated at a high professional level, even though we had some players in that team that I don't think should don the national colors again, we would have still qualified. Because I believe one of the biggest downfall to us not qualifying is the administration of the football. And secondly, the coach, the rest of the blame, and then the players. There's no way we can have Mikel Antonio having the season that he had. Ethan Pinnock, and he didn't play in every game. Mikel Antonio didn't play in every game. Bobby Reed didn't play in every game. Leon Bailey didn't play in every game. Do you realize that these guys play sparingly in the campaign? Hey, people. Let me say it again. Normally, some of the person, let me take one comment. Chris Smith, let me say this to you. You can't tell me about, brother, me always say, you say some things, I don't know, you need to read your comments then. All right? Let me say it to you. You're talking about we watch the rest, this comment, let me just take this. Man is we have to watch the other teams in CONCACAF and learn to give people credit. Brethren, I interview people from Haiti. And remember the Haitian, the Trini who run Haiti talk about it. And I speak about that. I speak about the fact that Haiti, they are worse off than us economically. They have players that every single one of them in the under 17 and under 20, them stay in Haiti and play and them qualify. That's an indictment on Jamaica. I'm a big up Haiti. I brought on Kendall. from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Commended him. I brought on the Trinidadians and talk about them. Commended them. I told her that I have an interview where I spoke to someone from Suriname that we're going to play on the platform. And I commend them. I always talk about the Martinique team that beat Jamaica in Shell Cup years ago. I commend them. So do not tell me that I don't commend them. I commend the teams. What I am saying is that when I look at our national teams and what we have accomplished, we are a failure based on our expectation, but we are still better than many of the nations that some people put above us in football. Where I will give those nations credit is this. A lot of these other nations, the kind of corruption that in our football, we don't hear about it in theirs. That's what we need to fix. We have a call online. Caller, welcome.
Yes, man, is one. But I make people run for blood pressure up on vacation.
No, man. I work, man, I chicken me a jerk. But good, man, no, man, kind of blood pressure you talk about them. Man. Go ahead.
Well, anyway, I think Chris Smith just like mess with you still. Because, yes, I saw the game yesterday. Yes, Suriname played well. But Suriname is not a better team than Jamaica. We'll beat them and we'll draw with them enough for them yard. And for the last couple of games of time we'll play them, we'll beat them. The last one. 3 out of 4 times we play them, we'll beat them 3 and draw 1. How can Suriname be better than Jamaica? No way possible. You understand me? Also, these people, you have certain people in Jamaica, certain Jamaicans, because we're all over the world, that no matter what team Jamaica put on the court, on the field, on the pitch, they're not good enough. Because I'm a bit older than you. Me have some friend when me grew up with say, as long as them live, it's better about in the 70s and 80s and early 90s, Jamaica would never reach World Cup. It's when Jamaica reached World Cup 98, a luck. Me say, but I don't say never reach, no one find the next excuse. Listen to me. You have certain Jamaicans, certain of us, who would never believe that we are good at anything. And we cannot do anything proper. Yes, the executive body of the JFF is not doing everything correct. But the guys on the pitch, the 23 players that picked to play Mexico, when give out them all, they may come out with a victory. We don't know.
See, a person trouble is Alpha Maximus Network say as long as live, Jamaica will never win the World Cup.
Oh, never win. All right. You would never know. that I leave that alone. Hey, I am
I will tell you this.
I mean, I live to see it. Yes.
No. No. Hold on. Let me say this. Demo. You see, this is what I'm saying. Demo, may I, brother? Don't do this to me, Demo.
Yeah.
Let me say it again.
Yeah.
If this were the Jamaican team that played against Suriname at home, got 2-0 to Mexico, Javan East, Corey Burke, offside, and missed those goals, and Damian Lowe as a defender allowed that, we would disrespect the players and say they are not good, and Jamaica not good.
True that.
And that's what I'm saying to you. Now, how can someone then say to me, Suriname is good? That is what I said from the beginning, Demo. So when I measure them, how we measure Jamaica, I'd have to say them not good. Because that's how we measure Jamaica.
Man, is when I'm going to say something again. Back in the 80s and 90s and 70s, when I was growing up, Jamaica played teams in National Stadium. And the whole stadium was cheering a rock and a roll. And when we leave stadium and walk across, we'll catch a bus. A man's will ball them, but we lose. Yeah, Suriname play well, outplay them at some stage, but they lose. Them not good.
So who played better? Who played better, Carla?
Mexico played better, but Suriname played well.
Okay.
Mexico played better, but Suriname played well. Right? Suriname had nothing to play for basically. So them bringing a whole lot of new players, that is overseas born players. I can't bring up Crispit. Them 90% of them team were overseas born players. Yes, they may be technically better than our local based players. But I want to tell you this: if our local based players play that Suriname team, that them not beat either. May I tell you that? Everybody only Jamaicans underestimate Jamaica, but that is like USA, Mexico, Costa Rica, and which other team went to World Cup? Which other one went to World Cup? Canada. They don't underestimate Jamaica.
The man them say Carla, they must say Suriname play better. I know what team play how a team play better.
and lose.
What?
Listen, you can't play better and lose. You have to play better and win.
Hold on. Man, I tell me, listen, hey. Well, anyways, we now go.
Yeah, so, listen, you see what make a beat with Jamaica and something. It's a we, I'm a Jamaican too, you know. It's a we.
The man them say Mexico was garbage last night still. That's what them say.
Yeah, because Mexico played them B team. Half of them probably still I never hear them before.
So big deal. So you believe big deal, and we say that a team can play better and lose.
Well, me wouldn't want to coach a team there.
Hold on. So all right. So people, more you tell me, tell me. So a team can play better and lose. So let me ask again. A team can play better and lose. Explain to me what constitute, because you have to explain what is playing better. If my job is to get the ball in the back of the goal and I take 3 passes to score 4 goals on you, and you make 1,000 passes and never score a goal, you have played better than me. Explain what is playing better. So when you say a team, so all right, so people are saying that look at Man City. Listen and think. Listen and think. Seriously. What is the 2 main objective in football? If you pass the ball better than me, does that mean you're better than me? Does that mean you're better than me? What if I want you to keep the ball and I catch you on the counter? So define what is playing better. There you go, Javon. Tell them that playing better is relative, because at the end of the day, if you keep the ball and don't score, and if you think if Pep was playing this way and never won a game, they would be saying, well, they play the best ball for the season. Results matter more. Results matter more. You can't use passing the ball as one of the things and determine it alone. You have to use other things. Did you score the chances that you create? Because if you create 20 chances and none of your forward can score them, and I get 2 and score 2 and I give you 2, how you going to say that you're better? What is the matrix you use? So define better for me. Go ahead, Carla.
No, you see, they say the mistake these people are making, the object of football is to get the ball between the 2 sticks. So if you keep the ball for 90% of the game and me keep it for 2% and me beat you 1-0, me better than you. Because my game plan worked to perfection, yours didn't. So therefore me play better than you. That's how that is it. I only wanted 1 chance to score 2% of the ball, and I score, and you have 90% of the ball. I did not score. It's my game plan to give you 90% of the ball, and I just went counter with my 2% and beat you. So I'm better. I play better than you. I play to my plan. I'll beat you. You understand? Because that's how the game goes. You can't say, oh, me outplay the man, but me lose. Okay, that's a whole time Jamaican thing that. No, man. Them things don't work no more, man. Scoring is the whole thing about football. Scoring. Who scored the most goal win? It's not who play better. or who you think play better is who scored the most goal win as a football player.
All right. See a lot of things coming up, some good comments. Solid says, Suriname plays a much more. Hey, caller, we have some more calling in, so I'm going to let them. But thanks for calling. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Cool. Yeah.
So let me ask you. All right. Let me ask you again. If City plays and possess the ball more than every team and misses their chances and finish the Premier League on 0 points, would you say that they played the best ball for the season? That is the question you must answer. Listen again, people. Possessing the ball is not the only way that football is played. Some teams are okay with less possession because they are more effective with their possessioning. Morocco is an example of that in the World Cup. They were outpossessed and outpassed in many games. Look where they reached. Playing better is not just a team's ability to look attractive in possession. You can say this team plays more attractive football, but better in the context of football must be tied in with the result of the game. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters most. Mourinho had an effective brand at Chelsea. But he didn't possess the ball a lot. It may not look attractive, but it was effective. It's just like a man like Demo get married to a beautiful, attractive lady who can't cook, can't clean, can't do nothing in the house. Is she a better wife than one who is very domesticated? Certainly not. She may be more attractive, but not better. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports.
Man.
Yes, God.
Jose.
Hey, Jose, you listening?
Yes, I am.
Jose is from Jose. Is Suriname better than Jamaica?
No, they're not. No.
This man is from Suriname, people. Okay, but what do you take on the game? You're a coach as well. Talk to me about the game yesterday because you watched it. I know you called me, you spoke to me, and stuff. Me and Freddie, yeah.
It was a well-played game looking from the Suriname perspective because you got to understand that the Suriname program is very young when it comes to dealing with professional players from the Netherlands, or you might say the diaspora, okay? It's only been 3 or 4 years since they started using professionals from the Netherlands. So you can't expect them to be at the level of Jamaica's yet.
Okay.
Jamaica went to the World Cup. Suriname has a long history of good football, but over the years, it's been lacking. But with the recent passing of the sport passport, which allowed the players from the Netherlands and elsewhere to join the local players, that only started 3 to 4 years ago. So you wouldn't expect them to be at a Jamaica level yet when it comes to the team organization and the quality, because right now all you're getting basically is players who plays in the Netherlands, and there might be professionals, of course, but they're not players who play for the national team or that level in the Netherlands. They're good professionals, but they're good enough to represent the country. So you're not going to expect, I wouldn't say not expect much, but most of them are like older players. 20-year-old players, and
okay.
Yet.
Okay.
But what I can tell you, within the next 5 years, you better watch out because it's something that they're starting to do now, where they're trying to recruit very young, and the entire region, as we had a discussion before, the discussion is that this whole region is going to change eventually when Suriname start getting those younger players and bringing them into the playing scene of the Caribbean or the Concacaf, because you got to understand the way we play in the Concacaf region, the Caribbean is different from when you play in the Netherlands, where you play on the nice pitches and the nice weather. Playing over in this side of the world is different. It's more, a grab and run is a more aggressive type of play. It's like, so you got to get used to that. They have to get used to that type of style. Yesterday when I watched the game, I noticed the referee made a lot of calls against them because you can see that they have that European mindset where, they play hard and, and the referee wasn't going for that. But overall, the first half was great. They could have easily been up 3-4 goals. The second half, you can see they got a little bit tired, a little bit more relaxed. And that's when the Mexicans came on, because the Mexicans noticed that, hey, you know what? This Suriname team is good. Technically, they're good. They're well good. Don't get me wrong. They're not a bad team. It's just that, you have a midfielder, Diego Bieseswar, who's 35 years old, who's kind of controlling the game, versus the Mexican who has the 20-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying? So there's big differences when it comes to the age group. But as I can say, the next 3 to 4 or 5 years from now, I think that program is going to develop in a way that more younger players over Netherlands, or it just started, so you can't expect much out of them as yet. You know what I'm saying?
Good analysis, Jose. But what I'll ask is that, because at the same time, I think other Caribbean nations are doing what Suriname is doing. You have like French Guyana also getting players coming in. They recently, I think, used Malouda, but he wasn't there. But you have more and more players from playing in Europe coming back to the Caribbean. Trinidad, you just saw them like at under 17. They got a young player in. Jamaica recruited highly in England under 20s. You just saw what we did with under 15. So how will that work? Because as Suriname is recruiting from the Netherlands, so are the other Caribbean countries also recruiting. So will the gap be closed if there's a gap already? Seeing that, if it were only Suriname recruiting, we could understand. But all the teams are now like recruiting, including the United States, who is trying to get Florent Balogun from Arsenal to play for them instead of representing England.
Well, let me say this. Which country has the largest, or which club you might say has the largest, or what I call farm system or academy system in Europe, where most players from out this world come out of? It's Ajax, right? In the Netherlands.
Ajax, yes.
So they produce more than anyone else, So yes, Trinidad is recruiting, but that player came out of the Ajax Academy. You see what I'm saying? So the thing about Suriname, as you know, I don't know if most of your callers know, but Suriname has a long history of producing good football players, not only locally, but internationally. I mean, with the Rijkaard and Hulit and all those famous names, they're all Suriname parentage. I mean, it's not, so it's in their genes, let's put it that way, So Suriname has a history of producing great players, So yes, you might say Trinidad also got players, but most of those players playing overseas from a lot of the smaller nations that are playing in Europe or elsewhere, a lot of them are coming out of the Ajax and the PSV Academy. I mean, that's where the majority are coming from. So technically, their style of play might be similar to what, the Suriname, they're playing. Because if you look at it, the coach for Suriname now, he's an ex-Ajax player, is Aaron Winter. He was born in Suriname, but he grew up in the Netherlands. So he was the right back for Ajax for years, So that's where I think his recruiting is based off right now. So, but yeah.
Yeah, but no, finally, let me ask you this, right? What are the other programs like? Because Suriname don't do well at the under 17, which is where the players would come through. Is it that the players in Suriname, they play the under 17, under 20, and then they get the pros to come in? Or are they trying to get players like Jamaica just did from 15 and 14 and 16? Or are they waiting?
Yes, they have. No, they have similar program. As you mentioned, the U17 that played the other day, I think they've had players coming in from the Netherlands. I don't know if you saw that or not. There were about 6 or 7 players who just came in. So it's a slow process when it comes to getting the Suriname sport passport, because, of course, if you're underage, your parents got to agree to that too, to go and play for Suriname instead of playing for the Netherlands. But it's still a new process. They do have all those different levels, the U15, 17. But it's still a work in progress. I mean, like I said, this thing only started 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. It's still new.
Yeah.
But as I can say, it's gonna get better. And like I said, I mean, it was nice seeing the boys last night. I mean, imagine that Mexico is a high-ranking team, number 15. Doesn't matter which set of players they bring. Once you put on that Mexico shirt, you're Mexico. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I mean, Suriname is all the way down 100 and whatever. I mean, it was nice that we 2-0, we could have even won the game if we really, but that's how football is. You got to score. If you don't score, you can't win.
Yeah.
But what I can say, the CONCACAF region is going to get stronger over the years, and as you've seen, it is getting stronger than compared to 10 years ago, for instance.
But
the gap is closer, basically.
Yeah, but how does it? I mean, how does it look? The persons in Suriname take this, like with, they could see a team in the next World Cup qualifiers with all players coming from the Netherlands. How does that? I mean, how?
No. They're integrating players. And the ones that which they notice have the potential, what they're doing, they're sending them overseas.
Okay.
I mean, there were a couple of them who were playing they're sending them overseas because what the previous coach had said, he said, when you're playing for the national team, it's not that you're losing a local player, but that player has to show certain level of experience. So what they do, they've been sending players on loan and trials and everywhere else throughout Europe. That's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Look at the striker, the one that plays in the Gold Cup, Geoflita Flater.
Yes.
He started playing locally. Even trained in Jamaica. He was part of the academy where
Phoenix Academy.
Yeah, that's where he was. Yeah, so they sent him out very early. He's one of them. So there are a few of them which just sent abroad, which are abroad right now. So and they're bringing them back in one by one.
Okay, so they're just integrating them slowly because in Jamaica there's this continuing dialogue about domestic players and international players, because there are some who believe that there needs to be domestic players, but there are others who will say, listen, but that doesn't matter. If the players are better, they should play. Yes,
because if you're going up against a team like Mexico, I mean, you don't want to go there with players who are amateur. You got knocked out of the park. I mean, 10-0, 15-0 is what was happening in the past. You know what I'm saying? So, but now they're kind of closing that gap. They say, you know what? All these other countries are using professional players. Why we can't do that? And that's when they changed the law a few years ago, about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It was all politics basically. Why they didn't change it before, but now they did change it. And it's not only in football, they do it also in all the other sports down in Suriname.
How long does it take to get like the necessary documents to represent Suriname in Jamaica? Because I know we have had difficulties with players with that. For some it has taken years, for some it has taken months. How quick is that process?
No, I think it's down to months now. I think when it first came out, and which is why a lot of players didn't jump on it, because they thought maybe they were going to lose their nationality, the Netherlands nationality. But then the process is now streamlined, that players are coming in faster. Because as you can see on that roster from yesterday, there were some players there who weren't part of the original group. So they're moving faster now. It's a quick process. It's not as drawn out anymore. It's only a matter of months. It's just like I said, it all comes down to the availability of the player too. So. But it's a quick turnaround, because most of these players, you got to understand, even though they were born in the Netherlands, their upbringing, their household is all Surinamese. You know what I'm saying? They speak the same local dialect. Most of them do speak it. It's not like if they don't know anything about Suriname. You see, they eat the same food and everything. It's just, I think it's the same with Jamaicans who were born overseas too. So it's just that, like I said, they were born in the Netherlands, but they're still Surinamese. You see?
Yeah. Right. And you allow for dual citizenship, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well. Yes and no. But see, they're not losing their Dutch passport. It's what the government allowed them to do down in Suriname, is allow them to have a sport passport only for if they're involved in any kind of sporting events, activities. So it's not that they're losing their. It's not like there's a dual citizenship. There is not. It's just that it's only when it comes to sports and maybe arts too. They allow you to use the what they call the sports passport.
Okay, so it's not.
It's a pass. They give them a pass.
So you're not really a citizen of Suriname then? You're still a.
No, you're not. No.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
So you're not getting a Suriname passport. No, you're not.
Oh.
It's all in the Constitution. It's where they wrote it in there. So you're not losing, and that's why a lot of players when they came over earlier, because they figured they were going to lose their Dutch passport. You see?
Okay. Okay. Hey, that's some good insight. So because someone here is saying that that means they can't vote and stuff like that. It's just
No, they cannot. No, they can't vote. No.
oh, so they're not
Nope.
I see. So they don't do, unlike in Jamaica where you have to go through a citizenship process first and then you do a
No.
passport. You just move straight to the passport and they call it a player's passport.
Yes, a sports passport. Yes, as a sports passport. Yeah, it's faster, it's easier.
And FIFA allows that to play like in the World Cup and those things.
Yes. It's FIFA has us to approve it. That's the whole point. It took years for the FIFA to approve it, but they did approve it. It's sanctioned by FIFA. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
That's some interesting information. Hey, thank you, man. I mean, you know, we were hoping that you'd beat Mexico. That would make life easier for us. But but they did because they left some of their key players back in Mexico for this Jamaica game because it's a top of the table clash. So it will be an easy one. But it was always good hanging out with you. I didn't see you yesterday when I was running my session and stuff, but we will link up soon.
You'll see me today.
I will link up. Yeah. All right.
All right, man.
Man. All right. I'll say. Cool. All right. So there you go. That's the man who gives me all things Surinamese. He tells me everything about Suriname. That is an interesting concept, right? The player passport that is approved by FIFA without you actually going through a citizenship process. I wonder if countries like Jamaica could benefit from something like that. I think that's a big thing. We had a next call coming in. Let me just call back the caller to get if we could give people like these passports without going through the citizenship process. What an interesting take. Sir Spence, welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
What you say, man, is man?
I am here. Chris Smith beat me bad in the comment section.
No, you're good.
Human demo.
Yeah. In regard to Suriname, the whole Caribbean region and the Concacaf region. So yes, Suriname is one of the countries. If you notice, Cuba, who's qualified for the prelims or the Gold Cup, they also take their foreign nationals now. They're dual citizens. That started in 2016. So the majority of Cuba's teams are not based in Cuba. So the dynamics of CONCACAF are changing. Me personally, if I'm in CONCACAF, I'm lobbying FIFA to put Suriname and Guyana in the South American region. They're going to cause us problems in the next 10 years.
Okay.
They are good. They're going to be good. I would say Calabar right now, we have two teams for you. They're on the South American continent. Go on over there. Because Suriname is going to be good.
Yeah, because if the players can just come there and just get a passport quickly to play, but they are still citizens of the Netherlands, then why wouldn't they do that? It's just like you said, it's a player passport. You're just there for sports. You just go there to play football, but it doesn't affect anything at all in the Netherlands. I think that is wow.
It's to me, from a legal standpoint, there's nothing wrong with it legally, and it's also helping them in their Olympic sports. It's not only football we're talking about. Their Olympic sports are benefiting from this also.
Yeah, Robbie's saying that Jamaica couldn't do that because we offer dual citizenship and Suriname don't.
Well, because we don't need it. Because essentially, once you prove Jamaican lineage up to a grandparent, you can get a Jamaican passport and you get the full permission, including the ability to vote also. So Jamaica doesn't need a separate passport. We just need to improve the speed that the players get their passports. That's Jamaica doesn't need that at all. So it's not really a factor. But let's touch on the Mexico match for Jamaica.
Yes.
So number one, Jamaica is capable of losing to any team. No, they could be the 206th team in the world. We're capable of losing to any team in an away match. because whether we can't check it in their hotel, whether we need to borrow a plane, whether we can't find taxi to get to the stadium, we have done it all administratively. In regards to people, Jamaica has some pretty good patty shop operators. They would actually run the JFF pretty smoothly, because right now, and I'm going to call some name, Roy Simpson and Ricketts would be, their patty shop business would shut down and be closed a long time ago. Yeah. So they are struggling. But against Mexico, tactically, we need a match Antunia. Rebel Morrison knows Mexico City. We are going to have some challenges dealing with. Rebel Morrison can only give us 30 minutes. So Jamaica needs, Coach Hallgimsson probably needs to not start him and put him on the end. We are going to need a more defensive hold in mid posture. So I don't think Lambert can fill that role for a whole 45, 60 minutes. So it's going to be a mixture of, to tell the truth, I don't even know, who do we have in the defensive midfield role?
John Russell.
That hasn't practiced with the squad at all, so that's not a good option.
Yeah, and Kevin Lambert.
Yeah, but Lambert don't have the.
I hear somebody saying that they would play taxi in midfield. I'm wondering how you play a left-footed player, a straight left-footed player in CDM. I don't know. Somebody was saying that.
It can happen. So I posted on another forum that I would play either taxi or low in the CDM role. Taxi can play that role. Taxi has, because Taxi plays center back sometimes, and he can step up and play in front of Low or Mariappa there. Taxi can play that role.
Yeah.
We have Jamaica. Fortunately, right now we are blessed with some good left footers. In my opinion, we need to use them and put them on the team. So you put Taxi, you put Bailey, and if Whisper was there, I would play them all on the left side and let them run the Mexican right back into the ground.
So are you saying, who said Russell hasn't trained with the team?
He's training with the team this week, but he hasn't trained with the team. He hasn't played for Jamaica the past 6 months. Am I correct about that?
No, he has never played for Jamaica. So I
think he played in Catalonia, right?
No, he didn't. That was Jordan Cousins. He has never played for Jamaica. This would be his first cap.
Yeah, so that's not realistic to bring a player in and play away game in Azteca.
Yeah, but I would say that the coach would have had some time with him. But let me just answer this one, right? Neo was the one who said that Jamaica. Let me tell you, I'm a real listener. We're not ahead of right now. We're not ahead of Mexico, Canada, USA, Honduras, Panama, Costa Rica. All right, I would say that we are probably at the same place right here with El Salvador, and maybe Costa Rica and Guatemala, and maybe Costa Rica because they are aging out. But those teams are right now performing better than us. Honduras have accomplished way more than Jamaica. Costa Rica, way more than Jamaica. USA.
Correct.
I mean, even let me just say it this way. I think Canada is not even up there with those teams. Canada has a good group now, but overall, Honduras has performed better than Canada at all levels. So too Costa Rica at all levels. Mexico. And I would say Canada is fifth. Maybe they are going to come through, but prior to this,
they have a good generation right now.
They have a good generation right now, yeah. So I wouldn't put Jamaica. Like to say Jamaica better than the USA. Jamaica better than no. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're just right.
As an overall program, no. Overall program,
no. Those guys have success at the youth level, right? Yeah. But Carl, I would rather go with we are ahead of Honduras. Brethren, Honduras qualify for almost every U17 or U20 stuff, that's all I'm saying. Yeah. Warrior 77.
I think the key for Jamaica is, first of all, we need to manage the 85th minute to the 95th minute of this match extremely well. Whether we are leading 4-0 or we're losing 1 or 2-0, Mexico has a way to control the tempo at Azteca and come back in those late minutes. So we need play. And the thing is that the current squad that we have, these players have experience playing at Azteca. The Azteca is not, and against a good Mexico team, the Azteca is not an intimidating factor for the squad that we're bringing to Mexico.
Yeah.
It's how we play collectively, and
All right.
when the fire starts hitting the pot in that 85th minute, not making those crucial decision-making mistakes and mental mistakes. Mexico, for pretty much, Mexico's strategy has been in Jamaica. They find our weak spot and they run that player into the ground. Whether it's we put Alvis Paul at right back and we run right at him. They probably have done a scouting and say, hold on, right there between the center, the halfway circle and in the penalty box, Jamaica's weak at defensive midfield. So they might forego the wings and really play a lot through the middle against Jamaica.
Yeah.
Right? But Mexico is very good at tactics. Once you have a weakness, they exploit it until it broke open like a leak.
Yep.
So the mental and the tactical part, Jamaica needs to recognize and shut it down. We can match them pace-wise. We can match them football skills-wise. We can match them those aspects. But it's just the tactical decision-making that has to improve.
Do right. When you're going, Cataract was covered, right? So I want to thank you for the call. But when you're going in the comment section, check the timestamp is 2:50. Jason Gould.
All right.
Jason Gould.
All right. Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
All right. Cataract. What a god.
Afternoon, man, one.
Yeah, man.
No, I'm taking the thing. I tried in late. So really, I don't want to repeat anything anybody says. It's a crucial day. The team has traveled. And let's see how that part goes.
All right, let me just say this, Cataract. I checked out the charter flight thing. I mean, I tried to see if we could deal with something for you. But it's not like they didn't buy out the flight like Burrell used to do and then sell back the seats. It's a 50-seater private jet. All right?
A 50-seater private jet.
Yeah, it's a private jet.
With a 23-man squad.
Yeah, and I think there's in terms of staff, assistant, physio, trainer, equipment person, I think 13 other persons.
13 other persons, which would be...
And that has nothing to do with like head of delegation and JFF personnel, just around it.
Who are that 13? But all right, so let's get it. That would be 36. That would be 36.
So I can't hold. I know that you have like coach, assistant coach, goalkeeper,
coach.
You know, a couple of persons to deal with
technical director,
technical director, a couple of persons to deal with masseuse. I think they have the team doctor.
Yeah, let's say 2 masseuse. That's 7. A physio, which would be 8. Equipment manager 9.
I think there's more than one equipment manager.
2 equipment managers 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I still would love to see the traveling party, and so that would leave 30. That would mean 36.
Yeah, but I can. You have the thing that's going to be there too. You know, like the person the interviews. What they call that person again? The
press officer.
Press officer.
Yeah, man, that's reasonable.
You have the team manager.
The team manager 13. That's 10, 11. Press officer 12. And the head of delegation, 13.
I think that may be the 13, yeah.
Right, so then that's 36.
Yeah.
So there should be another 14 spaces in the plane. But I just thinking, so unless the traveling delegation is 14, that they couldn't sell back.
No, but you don't want to. I think now that is like, you see, if it was a big plane, the original big, like what Captain used to do.
Yes.
What Captain used to do was different. Captain used to buy out all the seats and sell back the seats.
Yes.
I am saying though, this is a private plane. So whether you have 1 person or 50 person in there is the same amount of money you paid.
Yes, and so I'm saying that I don't want to delay us on this. We can talk about this next week after. But if you pay $100,000 US for the plane, and then you have 14 additional seats available, and you sell them, let's say, $500 US to each fan, which is reasonable to fly to Mexico. That would offset your $7,000 on a flight. But
yeah, I don't think like I kind of feel like I kind of feel like because the plane is so small, I just feel like this is not the kind of flight that you want to bring spectators on.
Okay.
Because to me, because it's a smaller plane, if it run on the bigger planes, I could understand. But it is what
Okay.
it is. But we know that there's more important things to discuss than that. But I just wanted it.
We can take that up. We can take that up.
Yeah.
And I also think that the JFF, the marketing department, could have done its homework because this match was about a year. We have known this match for about a year now. We've had the date. And if you had marketed it, you could have sold 100, at least 200. So you could have used a bigger plane.
You think so, Keter? Trust me, Ket. Me not have no confidence in that, brother. Right now.
No. I'm saying, but that was the old marketing people. We got new marketing people.
No, Keter is a new generation of people now. The people them used to follow the football on the 97 campaign. Then people them now do it again, and the new people them now do that. You think people Keter? You see the team winning.
And I have to care for what I say. I understand that some people feel offended when I talk their business on here, right? And I apologize to the parent who felt that I divulged her private business while discussing a controversy. I apologize to you, ma'am. I have a brethren who is on dialysis, and them man, they don't miss no game whatsoever, bar none, and it's about 8 of them or so, right? So there are people, there are ultras, there are people who go to these games who and we have to build that culture because there's nothing like seeing around 2 or 3 people.
Get the cause guess how the money with that insurance. Suppose the money is a boy. How you gonna control? Next thing Cataract go buy a ticket and thing. We don't want Cataract in our plane. What?
Well, they probably would have give me a ticket and then restrict me to just sit in my bathroom. Like, or restrict me in the stadium. I can't go in. I can't get nothing to eat. I can't walk in the aisle. No, but I honestly think the JFF needs to sit down, and part of what you're doing is to build a rapport, to build a hardcore support that travels with the team. All successful teams have that. There's nothing like looking up. I remember the other time they said it was just 2 of us, and there was nothing like looking up and them seeing the 2 Jamaican flags waving and them dig deep. When Argentina they give it the 5, it was chemo.
Why you just don't go buy? Why those persons just go and buy a ticket?
Okay, because the ticket to enter, we wouldn't have access to those. We wouldn't have access to purchase those tickets to go to the game.
No, man. Cataract, right, I know. You see, if the people them they said, hey, man, it's me, I go Mexico, I'm gonna love. No, man, we could have made that work out, Cataract. That's the least of your problem, Cataract. All you have to do is get to Mexico, man.
No, man, it's not that simple. Believe me, I've never gone on a trip and it's been you go find and buy a ticket and next thing we end up.
No, man, you're not going to buy a ticket. What I'm saying is that once you have booked your flight, I will get you a ticket.
Okay, boss. So
book the flight. If you book the flight and send me the booking stuff, me send a ticket to you.
So I don't want people to feel like say we are begging a free thing, right? I will pay, and that's the most cost-effective way. But yeah, let's move on. That's a side point.
Hey, listen, hold on, Keter. Me said, done life. Don't put everything that I think where people gonna believe you, bro. No, man, money. there are certain amount of times for the year that I have no choice but to travel. Right? I have to. Me not have no choice. We have to do it. So me just plan things around it. You understand me? Go ahead, Keter.
I'm a bad man. I'm a boom ride, brother. I'm not fan now, but
leave that and go on.
More time I mention them, me and them ride go stadium as man. No, me and man drive go stadium already. Yeah. Because you have to watch look here, we have to sensibly, let me just say this one thing. In this time of global warming and the environment, 4 man can drive 4 cars go to the stadium.
Cataract. Don't
No,
follow the
no,
people.
I just want to be clear to people. We have to sometimes have to think about our environment, brother. We have a prolonged drought right now. 4-man drive go on stadium with all the CO2 emissions. When 4 of it could have fit in a man limousine and reach at the ground, finish, come back. No, you have to think. You have to think, Richard. So this thing up. So anyway, I just wanted to touch on the Nation League game with Mexico because I watched the game.
Why people keep asking if John Russell traveled with the team and if he have his passport. All of the players them travel to Mexico.
So John Russell has received his passport.
Yeah.
Okay. That is very good.
Peter.
Yes.
Cataract is going to make a point. So as soon as you can hold on and let him finish, or do you want me to call you back? You can hold on. Go ahead,
Cataract point take a while, but I'll hold on.
It's an LP I grew up in. When I grew up with the 7-inch disco. So let me be quick. I really wanted to know the status of John Russell because up to a particular time he did not have his passport. So that's just important to know. And I saw the Mexico versus Suriname game. Suriname were extremely good in the first half. It gave me some optimism. But Mexico made a slight tactical adjustment to which Suriname didn't respond. And then when they came when they came out in the second half, and then Mexico turned the tables. The other important thing from the game is you cannot afford at international level to miss chances because you will pay dearly, as Renata Adams would say, very dearly, because other teams are clinical with their thing. And if you remember, there's also a penalty that Mexico missed, right? Skied over the bar. So I think Suriname had their opportunity to earn a victory, going 2-0 at halftime, and that would have forced Mexico to make more changes and maybe come tactically different rather than just a slight adjustment. And they could have been still sitting in a nice result. So there are things for Jamaica to look forward to. I'll let the caller come in, and then we'll discuss. We can discuss the matter of how Mexico really pounds wherever you have a weakness, because they believe in the tactic that says the weakest link on a chain, and they really go after that link. If you recall, in the Mexico game in Mexico when we played, they did their homework, and we had a 33-year-old CDM in Grant from League One, and in the first 10 minutes, everything was thrown at him. When they couldn't penetrate there, they then said, okay, weak link number 2, that's Alvis Powell, and they started going down the flank and really burning Alvis Powell, like how man burn coal. And they kept at it until they got in the last minute on that right-hand flank. They got their joy and they got their winning goal. So, yeah, Mexico is very, very clinical and sadistic in that way. If you go there with any weakness, they're going to push their finger in your wound and put salt in the wound. That's my assessment.
Kevin Williams, let me let the caller talk, man. That's who answer you, Kevin, man. Go ahead, Peter. As we have here.
Yeah. Greetings, Cataract, and all your viewers and subscribers. Yeah, man. I don't know how I became a regular caller to these programs, but it seemed to be that way. But to the caller you had before, and the Surinamese caller.
Yeah.
I didn't hear a lot of what he had to say, but I think both of them were on the same track where they're saying that Suriname is going to improve and somehow we must be wary.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. 5 years down the road, which is true. What I'm saying, they are not where Jamaica is right now, but down the road, trust me. Like, because remember now what the caller was saying, Jose was saying is that the Surinamese, they can just get a sport passport to play. So they're getting a lot of players from the Netherlands, and they're getting them at 19 and 17 and 18 and 20. So, yeah.
All right. So yeah, I agree with that. But you have to remember, you know, whenever I hear people talk about these improvements of other Caribbean countries, they act as if Jamaica is standing still. Jamaica not standing still. Jamaica will continue to improve. Our football has improved even since our football has improved, right? Period.
Yeah.
And it will continue to improve. And so it used to be a time when it was foregone conclusion when Jamaica play against US or Mexico. No, not so much, because we have beaten those two teams. And if it wasn't for Old Pirates, Rabbi in '98 and Rabbi in this last World Cup campaign, would have had two more wins against the United States.
Yeah, because
So,
the 97 game, yeah.
Yeah, man, the game when Ronaldo walked into the box with a penalty.
And they give that penalty,
you know,
yeah.
It was way outside the box.
And it wasn't a foul, yeah, true.
To this day, I don't like that guy because of that. But anyway, so Jamaica will continue to improve. And it shows how much respect that Mexico have for Jamaica that they rested or sent their B team to play Suriname.
Yeah, but Jose did say that. He did say that, to be fair to him, he did say that Suriname is not where Jamaica is at right now.
Right. No, I'm not even talking about, I never even hear what him say so much, you know. But your other Jamaican caller who just came off the phone before me, he said, boy, watch them in the next 10 years. Brethren, Jamaica in the next 10 years is going to be vastly improved from what we are today. So, you know, it's good. All the teams in the Caribbean, in the region, is going to improve, because now with the Nation League adding more games for even smaller teams that would not normally get any competitive games. No, everybody will improve. So that's good for the region. So I don't know if you want to elaborate on that before I move on.
No, I think to me, this is where I agree with some of the Big D, Len, and the Chris and the Jason. The issue, I think, is that from my readings and understanding, the other administrations seem to have less issues to fix than Jamaica. And we all know that at the end of the day, the management of the system sometimes is more important than the system itself. So if the manager of the system isn't effective, it makes the whole system fall apart. So if the system, the administration of the football don't improve having quality players, because I think man to man, you know, I personally believe Canada and the USA were the two teams that have had available to them more quality than Jamaica in the last campaign. I think the Mexican players were aging out. So I think we were right there. So I think Canada and the USA.
You don't want to look on Mexico, look on Costa Rica. Costa Rica made it, man. You know, we should be in that space where Costa Rica was, and that was considered an old team. And we ball them socks too well. In Costa Rica, I think the game draw, right?
And the other thing is that unlike where the Dominican Republic can partner with the Spanish footballing people, number one, and where the Netherlands are partnering with Suriname, the English FA will not partner with Jamaica.
That's what I was saying when I called the other day. You know, remember I was saying about building relationships.
They will not partner with Jamaica.
It's a JFF fault. You know?
No, man. You don't see what?
Didn't in Borrell days? Hold on, let me answer this question. Cataract my note. In Borrell days, didn't we have some kind of relationship with Bolton where?
Not this. No, man. Follow me. That you can partner with a club. But with the English FA, basically, coming on to do what like the Netherlands is doing in Suriname, or what the French is doing in French Guyana and those places, where Spain is doing in Dominica. Where, there you go. They're right. The English FA not going to do that with Jamaica or any one of the territories that they once colonized. It's not going to happen. So I think we have a bigger hurdle
with them for players.
Yeah. We compete. Yeah.
I believe that something like that would have to be arranged diplomatically through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in the same way that when the former Minister of Sport, and she was Minister of Sport at the time, Portia Simpson Miller, had a relationship with President Lula of Brazil. And if you recall, that Jamaica was able to go to Brazil for month-long camps at a subsidized rate. The Brazilian government subsidized René Simoes and his technical staff that came with him, Clovis de Oliveira, etc. But that was done at a governmental level, not FA to FA. And I believe that same relationship would have to happen, but the JFF would have to formally request it, that the government seek to, in their bilateral agreements, have dialogue. Jamaican English FA at one point tended to have a decent relationship. You know, if you recall, we played England, I think it was before the 2006 World Cup, where we we
were embarrassed.
6-0 in Manchester United at the Theatre of Dreams. I think the thing really soured, if my memory serves me correct, over money issues related to that game. And it is based on that Jamaica had to sign the release of Raheem Sterling to pay off those debts as a quid pro quo. That's always what I've heard, that they because you have to get an international release. But previously, if you recall, Marcus Gale, for example, would have told you that it took almost a year to get an international release from England back in '97 for him to come and play for Jamaica. So they've never made it really easy. And I think we have come full circle now where they are, I won't say predatory, but they are really like the lioness, and they're protecting their cubs and their nest. So if you sniff near an English player, he can get called up to one of the national teams, and that's just the fact. So, but I just want to use the minute. I don't want to use 1 minute, Mannings. I want to be clear. Could you please clarify to the persons in the chat that I did not beg any free ticket, or you didn't beg any free ticket on my behalf, that you inquired the process for Cataract to purchase a ticket and pay for my plane seat. I'm in a beggy, I'm in a like freeness, and a man can't rule me for freeness.
All right, Cataract, let me answer that. Peter, let Peter, because we have a next caller. Then let Peter, and then I'll respond to that, Cataract. Don't let the people them dry out.
All right, well, I just want to piggyback off of what Cataract said about the governmental level. I don't want to politicize the show, but it seemed to me like there's one regime in the country that is more supportive of the football than the other regime. So anyway, I'll leave that. But I know when Portia Simpson was an officer, when she was a sports minister, man, she was very, very visible and helpful and just loyal to the program.
You know, I'm politicize the program and boy, all call name and all of them things.
Sorry, Bridget. But another thing I want to say, two more things, and then I'll go. You say, remember, John Russell have his passport, right?
We're going to deal with that. We're going to get it clear. Right. The last thing I heard this morning is yes, but I will find out and just to verify. But I heard yes.
Yes.
So let me find out.
It's not far-fetched that he could start, Remember, Anthony Grant started his first game, correct me if I'm wrong, in the Azteca, and played very, very well. So it's not unheard of that a man can make his debut in a baptism of fire, right? Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah, man.
And the last thing, and I want you to think about this, and you and Cataract, I want to hear both of you have to say. I actually feel that Jamaica is in a better place due to the Mexico win. And I'm going to explain why. I believe now that Mexico know that they only need to tie the game, it's possible that they may not press, and we will have a chance to go at them, and it might work to our favor. Let me know what you guys think. I'll hang up and listen.
All right then, Peter. Cool. All right, so the line is free. I think we had a caller calling. Let me just say this to you people. The players who are in Mexico, they have to come out and win this game. Because the players who went to Suriname are the players that they want to use to basically take over their positions. The European-based players must go out and prove. This is not going to be a walkover for Jamaica, all right? Trust me, it's not. All right, people, let me say about the Cataract thing. So Cataract wanted to go to the game. So as I promised, I tried to find out about the airplane and all of that, because Alex, you know the number is the same number that they always call Alex. It's still running down there, right? Fresh God, put the number so Alex can see it. Yeah. So he wanted to get the ticket, not free, but to purchase the plane ticket. Normally though, from Captain Burrell's time, if you buy the ticket, it comes, the plane ticket, the package, it came together, right, Cataract? So it's not like you had to buy the ticket.
Yeah, it came as a package. It came as a package.
So that was the concept. That was the idea. It wasn't to, it wasn't to get free passes. Normally, I know Cataract as a person who normally buys his tickets to even go to the game. That's how we support the right. So please don't take it. I just like and I know sometimes some of you trying to be funny still, but some of the things, there are people who walk away from some of these things and they think it is actually true. They may think it is actually true that the man actually doing that, but no. I know Cataract a while. Them man normally buy them ticket. The people who normally sit at where they normally sit in the stadium, those people support the program. They travel with the program. You understand me? I've always advocated that these are some of the people that the federation should look to. Let be like players that when you get fun stuff, you try to ensure that they get it because they normally support the program. So I had to put that in. But Cataract, somebody reached out to me and said that you have found a midfielder. We have Alex calling, so we see if we can get Alex. Say you found a midfielder for Jamaica at CDM. But let's hear from Alex and then we go to you. Alex. Him call cut off. Go ahead, Cataract.
Probably under his bed. Can't get signal. So
I hear that you found a midfielder that is back in the league, not the Premier League. Go ahead.
No. And it will take some time. But I didn't even want to bring this up here. But I just want to say that to the JFF and his press staff, it's very unfortunate that two players would have signed contracts on Thursday, the 24th, right? Or the 23rd, sorry. And we put up on the JFF website, congratulations to Adrian Mariappa. And the disrespect of Anthony Grant continues. When he and Mariappa both signed contracts for the same length of time, the same basic terms, and in the same league. And again, I wonder. So he'll be back playing in the league, and he's always anxious to play for Jamaica. He's made that very clear. But until he retires, he'll be anxious to play for Jamaica. But as I said, there are about 3 CDMs who are in their 20s who I have identified the persons, and they have said that. But I don't think that they're at the requisite standard in their careers, either due to injury or just due to some inexplicable developmental issues to step in. Like Raheem Harper, who was at West Brom and who played for West Brom when West Brom was in the Premiership. He's now in League One. But can't hold down a steady place in a League One team after 2 years after leaving the Premier League, or 2 years after being relegated. That's inexplicable. So my hope is that in the near future, but next season, Isaac Hayden really completes his process and that he recovers fully from a surgery and doesn't get injured again. And he's really the only person that I see as an heir successor to Grant. Lewis Baker, of course, is a box-to-box playmaker. Sorry. And Curtis Jones at Liverpool is another box-to-box playmaker who I think are operating at a higher level than Ravel Morrison. Ravel has flattered in a lot of instances to deceive. And I believe that when we look and stack, we can look at how we build a central midfield. But that, of course, is the coach. And I do hope that the coach is more open-minded. And if Grant is playing at a level, and he's younger than Mariappa, by I think 6 months or so, he's younger than Mariappa. The doors slam shut in his face.
Alex, that's all. Allow him catch recognition.
They play about making your debut in the Azteca. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Not after some deep conversations with the judge. I wouldn't wish that on anybody because it's brutal. Brutal, both conditions. And I think the only thing that really saved him, let me be clear, I think it would have been different if there were 100,000 fans in that Azteca willing the team on. So we benefited from there being no fans there.
Yeah. All right, Alex, welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, man. I just want to allude it because people said the Suriname team that play Mexico.
You just want to what?
I just want to allude it to a point.
Alluded to.
Grammar.
All right, go ahead. Alluded to a point.
I just want to make a point, right? So
that you say, Alex, man. Just say you want to make a point.
Want to make a point, man. Most of them players that played through them last night, those are the players that played against us last time in the state national stadium last Nation League final. Just to make fact, only few players are missing: Luis Romo and I just Romo only. But all of those players that play against Suriname, they play against us when we play against them in the national stadium. So, I mean, I would necessarily think that Suriname is better than we do. I just want to make that point. That's the point I really.
But what I was saying, no, did Becca play? Becca didn't play against Jamaica.
No, Becca never played against Jamaica. Jamaica World Cup.
He was in the World Cup. Yeah.
Yes, but people will use the point to they are missing 4 best players, Cherry and some other more players they're missing, so that's why they lose the game. So people use that point too.
No, but what I'll say is that, listen, Suriname, at the rate that they are going to be a force to reckon with, and we'll be fooling ourselves to not think so. Are they there yet? No, because like the caller said, is that the players that they have are the older players. So they just got these players to plug a gap, but they are recruiting younger. And if Jamaica don't get his act together, Trinidad is doing this. St. Kitts and the Nevis doing this. All right. Dominica Republic doing this. So we have to get our act together, or else we're going to be left behind. But right now, I would say that we are ahead of those teams right now. And I'm talking on the male and on the female side. We are ahead of them. But we must not, Dominica Republic, we must not keep our guards down. And administratively, I think the biggest thing for Jamaica is we have to find a way. Listen, let me say this. Let me just add something else. You know what I believe, Cataract and Alex, and you can tell me. The coach did something specific. The coach went to Montego Bay, looked at all of these things. He brought the players. You know how much places the players went? They went to check out Annie Palmer. Don't know why they would do that, right? They revisited Annie Palmer. They met some kids from some schools. This
Barracks Road Primary.
Primary. This reminds me of
98.
Well, leading up to 98, how the players were involved. So you can see that the coach is really planning on giving the players an experience. So if these players, you get the feeling that they are enjoying this experience, that to me is big. Because when you go back, I think Splat said it on his interview. He spoke to Bobby Reed. And Bobby Reed basically said, listen, man, you need to come and be a part of this. I know one reggae boy who was asked, right? When Jamaica, when Captain Burl and Rene Simoes, and he was asked, I think he was asked by a player who could have played for Jamaica and Canada. The player was on the brink, right? And when he asked the player who was a part of the Jamaica team, one who was born in Jamaica and was playing in England, the player said to him, listen, man, given what is going on right now, I would tell you to play for Canada. And the player plays for Canada now. The point I'm making is the truth is the coach is giving these guys such an experience that they are going to say, yo, no, man, listen, man, and I think that has been missing for a while. I don't know if Tapa was doing stuff like this, maybe not to Rosal, but other places. I don't feel like the players were going anywhere. I think they were at Spanish Court Hotel and go to the stadium, go train and back and go to them yard.
So, man, you'll recall that on coach's desk, I had made on several occasions the very point. You have to immerse the players, the team, in the Jamaican culture, particularly those who were born overseas, so that they know what it is or they have a sense of what it is they're representing for. And Barracks Road is not no pretty place, right? So they would have had to, I think, go through, is it North Gully? That's what it's called. And some of the inner cities there, they need to see what it is that they are fighting for. So I laud the coach. I congratulate the coach. I urge him to do more, because Jamaica is not the AC Marriott Hotel with the cheesecake and, you know what I mean, the nice lobby. It's not. It's gritty. And when you experience that, you can show some of that grit out there on the field. So well done to the coach. It's something that I raised from the time when on coach's desk when Cranky and I had a debate, that is one of the first things I would do in terms of orientation, what I call an orientation to Jamaica.
Would you say the coach doing this, more players would want to come and play for the country? For the fact
it's not the coach going to convince them. I think when Ethan Pinnock goes back, man, he's going to be so happy about just the experience. Like for the first time, like these guys, I know the coach worked to make sure that their flights were arranged, that they were picked up, that all the trainings, because there were some struggles in the Trinidad, in those camps. The coach made sure that all of those things, so that when training was to start at 3, all the players and the bus picked them up, they got there for everything to start. So everything, like this is the first time some of the players are having the experience where everything from start to finish was run on time. So like I think that kind of thing will impress some of the players, and they are going to go back and say, no, man, I mean, things have really changed. It's very professional. The coach is this. I mean, and I think it is going to have an effect, personally.
Okay. And I feel like Mexican fans right now are worried about the Jamaican team, even though the people say Jamaican team is not better than Suriname, though. That's what I really have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I talked to most of them on the Twitter space and so forth, and they're worrying about Jamaica right now, how they're gonna come, because they don't know how to play. And Diego Coca, his first time playing against Jamaica, and I don't think he really knows the players that much. I think he coached only Liga mix players, so that's why he's more comfortable as a very defensive coach. he coached River Plate and those teams in the Mexican and Argentina league. So I think it's going to be a very interesting game coming this Sunday. Let's see. I mean, I feel like Jamaica can win though. That's just my point. And let's see how the game go. Big up Coach Grim though, he's doing a very fantastic job, and I'm behind him. Win or lose or draw Sunday, I'm still gonna back Coach Grim because the learning process and he's building towards 2026. So I have to applaud Coach Grim for what he's doing right now.
All right, big up yourself, Alex. Respect, man.
All right.
Yeah, man. All right, and somebody is saying that they didn't actually go to Barracks Road. They actually brought the kids from Barracks Road to the training.
No, they went in the town. You would also be aware. So you know that they went into the town. I'm not 100% familiar, but I know I saw some footage of them passing through around a gully place somewhere. The kids came, but they ventured into Montego Bay. Can you confirm that it's not?
Yeah, man. They went into. So if you know where Catherine Hall is on Holiday Inn, there is you know that you know where you know the drive Cataract.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're leaving from where they were staying to Catherine Hall, it's easy to go to Barracks Road.
So GPS business, but I want to say, man, like the man in line, man. Hold on. So Alex has spoken. Abala con su equipo de Mexico. The speaker word of Spanish, but if I talk to the Spanish man, them on Twitter, them afraid.
Alex, man, I'm asking. Man, is maybe as big, but no. But if you stay, they trained at Catherine Hall, and they stayed at Holiday Inn.
So and they ventured into the city of Montego Bay. Yeah, so why this important? Like okay, so I don't have the exact GPS coordinates that they went to, right? So sorry. Do you have it? Right. So but I have to address a little pilgrim inside us. I'm gonna tell you something again. And I thought management clear it up. When I beg free this, when I beg nothing, you cannot purchase a football. Hold on. It's important. You cannot go and purchase a football ticket for a match. So we know the man them that don't go football nowhere else. You cannot simply go online and purchase a match ticket. Some of the one man come in a dunce chat. They don't go nowhere, go no match, go nowhere. The distribution of tickets for an international match.
Let me explain to them.
No, it is done through the federation, and there's an allocation for away fans and an allocation for home fans. And it is done through the federation.
Because you have to it's not like our national stadium where you can go anywhere and sit. A lot of those other stadiums, away fans have a specific area that they have to be in because of security reasons. Particular entrances that they have to go through. So if you ever go away to an away game, these things are specific. Whether just right across maybe not in Jamaica. They have different entrances to separate away fans from home fans. All right, and so
you cannot exit the stadium at the same time as the Mexican fan.
Specific time to enter. Yeah.
Right. You sit the area that you sit in has nets. In the Azteca it has a net, right? To prevent them from throwing.
Barris, we same thing in Jamaica, man. You buy your ticket, Barris. Come on, man. Barris, you can just get your ticket and go anywhere. Go sit down at Jamaica. Anywhere you go, bleachers. Remember, the bleachers don't have specific seating, only in the grandstand. And in World Cup campaign in the grandstand, they will tell you. But every seat in certain you know that, Coach Barris, man, you have to sit in your assigned seat. Because all of that also has to do with even insurance. Because if anything happen, it's like similar to an airplane. Yet you know, even if the plane is empty, you have to stay in your seat because if anything happens, it is the seat that they're going to know who is there.
Exactly. You have weight and balances on a plane. You cannot just walk into a stadium, go buy a ticket and go to them. Because particularly in Central America, these venues are hostile.
Yeah.
Right?
But the person asking about the Murray Grey Cataract, because I told you already that let's look at the Gold Cup, right? The timeline is the Gold Cup. Nothing is ready. We did say that.
Well, we have different information. So I am not holding my breath for the Murray Grey.
Okay.
Right? I'm not holding my breath for the Murray Grey. I am more. I think is a more useful player who would not more useful, but I think a more relevant prospect should he come back to fitness is Isaac Hayden. I think he has moved full circle from where he was in terms of mentally and his outlook, and he really would give Jamaica some consideration now. Sometimes it's petulance, sometimes it's information, sometimes we just don't have the facts. So we're not going to jump on a man and ever. We're not going to jump on a man ever. We're not going to jump on a player's comments and, write him off. But you seem to have a different perspective, and I look and see.
Yeah, we have a different perspective. We have some information that tells me that if in the Gold Cup there is a possibility, and I know why, but I'm not privy to say that right now. Maybe at the end of April I can be specific.
He's a devastating player. Yeah. And I believe he's one that will transition into the Jamaican team, speed and the way that he drafts. So, but it's all in the hands of Coach Grimm. I do know that there's some good news about a centre back coming, and that's in addition to Latibe there, who I think his documentation process should soon. But I know that there's a Premier League centre back. A Premier League centre back at a Premier League club who has started the process and may have even gone in for his interview in London, if things so. So, look here, Coach Grimm is working. But what I wanted to say, man, is this thing about checking the oil in the bus and make sure the bus have gas and those are not the things for a first team coach to be doing. Those are management issues. But God bless Coach Grimm. God bless him that he is magnanimous and him the hype and he can roll up his sleeve and he's trying to get certain things, assurances that certain mishaps don't happen. But there's a management structure that is supposed to take care of that. So the coach can focus on 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 5-3-2, and who injured and, tactically he can sit down and watch the Suriname game versus Mexico. He can sit down with his analysts and make their assessments. Man, if I look about ground transportation. You understand? But again, we're 2 days before, so I know we're going to be going in.
Yeah, but watch I know cataract. Watch I know this is working out. I guess I know. We have an hour and a half drive. If you touch the next place, right? So we have to leave. We don't know because I seriously sent you the link from the start,
No, you never sent me the link from the start, bro.
I seriously sent you.
I guess tomorrow we'll have to look at the starting lineups and what is there. But the thing is that Mexico, I don't believe the caller that Mexico we have a good chance because Mexico secured the points and leading the group. Mexico is sadistic. They're not going to miss the opportunity of embarrassing Jamaica if we come with our big game.
Given how close the thing there was, the World Cup qualifying games. I mean, this is full throttle. Mexico coming, man, full throttle. No ease up whatsoever. But you heard what the coach said, right? You heard those tools from the assistant coach and the head coach in Cataract.
Pardon me?
You heard the coaches. You heard what the coach said.
No.
All right, so let me play it. Let me play it for the people. Go on there. Hold on there. Let's make sure we find it. So yes, people. So I'm going to play Coach Hallgimsson's and assistant coach John Wahl their comments before the team took off to Mexico. All right, so let's go here.
Our man is catch up. Jarvis Paris, you are going to be happy.
You hear the cataract?
No, we're not hearing it. It look like you don't have your technician. Look like your wife is a technician at home.
No, man. All right, go start it.
Suffering from technical issues.
All right, so hold on now, man. This is easy to fix. All right, so boom. So
Jarvis Paris, you're onto something. All the never walk alone, man.
All right, so let's go. All right, people, let me see if we can do this and give you the coach's reaction. Oh my lord, make sure I have them thing up here, so you know, cause them people are quick and fast, you know. All right, so tell me if you're hearing me now.
No, not hearing at all.
Still not hearing.
No, but people in the chat can't tell if them are here, but we are here.
Always can go. No, all right, they're not hearing. So let me do it this way. Easy. Let me do it. Let me go to the good old fashioned back in the days way that we used to play them thing here. So here we go, people. This is first I'm going to play John Wahl.
Few players to be involved in the next game. So he's got a
You're hearing it now, Cataract?
next game. So he's got options, and the fact that I think Suriname played pretty well first 55 to 60 minutes, and it goes to show that they're in the early stages too.
What did you see though that we probably could hurt them with in the first half? Because you mentioned that Suriname they were good in the first half, therefore Mexico probably was not as good in the first half.
Well, I think you have to take into account that he's only got like 3 days, and it's turf, and Suriname's got a new coach too. I think all in all, there's a few instances, yes, that we might want to use, but it's nothing that I'm going to be public about.
All right. Now, of course, they have a new coach. Mexico have a new coach. When you have a new coach, of course, the coach would have been in Suriname, not with the team that's going to play on Sunday in Mexico. That clearly would be a disadvantage, you think?
There's always early stages on, and what Mexico have is obviously a selection population that's pretty great, even though there's this discrepancy between the Mexican-based players and the European-based players. But overall, I think Concacaf has several options to tweak his team, and I think he's in a good seat based on what he thinks.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks much.
All right, so that was John Wahl. Now we're going to hear from Coach Hallgimsson.
We thought we need a little bit more time on, because we don't want to do anything tactical once we are in Mexico. Probably there will be eyes on us there, so we like to finish all the technical things, and we've had quite a good time here. So enough time, I mean, in Mobay. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how we've done things.
And you have a better idea of how the team will play once we get into match time or competition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm asking you.
Yeah.
If you have a better idea.
I know. Yes.
You know. And can the fans, for example, expect a different start from what we saw last 2 games against Trinidad, which I thought personally was a glorified practice?
Yeah, we will see a different approach to that game. The ones against Trinidad was more to see the players, their abilities, how they work in our system, in our working environment. So this time we would like to be more tactical. We would like to be more clinical. We would like to. We have been practicing for Mexico. So that is a totally different
Specifically
thing.
for Mexico.
Yeah, so this camp has been Mexico and the World Cup, so we are preparing, but most of all for Mexico. So hopefully you will see a much more structured team, because when we played Trinidad, it was not about Trinidad. It was about us, and who can be with us in the future, and seeing a lot of young players. Are they ready now, or are they ready in a year? So yeah, we had a lot of questions for the individuals against Trinidad. Now it's about the collective unit.
How optimistic are you about our chances of playing them well in Azteca?
I am always optimistic. We have a plan. How we think we can earth them. If that plan works or not, we will just have to see. But we go with a plan in mind, how we want to play them. Hopefully we can have a good performance, and if we do, then the side effect will be 1 point or 3 points. So hopefully we have an idea, and we are all going in the same direction. So hopefully we'll have a good performance against Mexico.
Any injuries concern everybody healthy?
Yeah, everyone here is fine and fit and ready and want to play. So we have 23 players really eager to play against Mexico, and we love that. And the good thing about this camp is that we didn't play a friendly in between, so there was we don't need to rest anyone today. So we are just preparing for Mex, and we have given players time to recover from the matches before the game. So we are in a good position, fitness-wise, hopefully tactical-wise.
All right, Coach. Mexico played last night. They won 2-0 against Suriname. What did you pick up from that, and how can we hurt them, you think?
I think we cannot take a lot from that match. They will probably play a totally different team against us. So they rested a lot of their key players, which we expect to be playing against us. And tactically, it was nothing that was not much that we could take out from that match to use for what we have already talked about.
Are you satisfied with the preparations overall, what has been given to you by the Federation to ensure that you get this result coming up on Sunday?
Yeah, I think we knew beforehand, because we were here in Mobe before the Trinidad matches, so we knew what to expect in this. So we tried to do our best with what we have, and of course we are satisfied always with, once we are here, we are not going to talk about the negatives, because negative will just attract more negative. So we focus on the positives, and if something is not working out, then we just have to deal with that and work around it.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, Coach. Thanks, Coach.
Cataract, what say you? We have nothing to say though.
Man, it takes time by your drive. Well, may I tell you? Like one hand trying to be professional, and that's not clap. Why can't an interview being of this nature be conducted at the Holiday Inn hotel where they were staying, in the business room or the conference room, which is noise proof? Because Holiday Inn does have a conference room. For those of us who have stayed there, that attend the events there.
Because the car that's stuck in the traffic.
The itinerary of the coach and the assistant coach who were trying to get across some very important points, and the press secretary, really and true. Man, you remember that you asked a question and the coach said that he is not prepared to discuss the tactical approach to Mexico. And then the press secretary asked the man, in what way he can hurt Mexico? I mean, Lord God. I mean, but I do respect what I heard from Paul Wall and Coach Grimm. They said nothing.
John Wall.
Paul Wall is a rapper from Texas. John Wall and Coach Hallgimsson, aka the dentist. They said all the right things. Very professional gentlemen, and they answered everything in the right way. So there's really nothing you can criticize or critique about their responses, and we can only hope that it translates into a good result against Mexico. Or if not a result, but a good performance. But the coach seems to be focused on the fact that this is a result game. This is not a game where man come look for man. This is a game where you have to get the necessary result in. And so I think it was clear. They obviously are things in the camp. But again, I don't
think. Let me say this. I don't think
ask you about what negative, if you're not happy with the JFF.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah. All right. So that's yeah. You know that I'm even okay. I'm okay with the Paul Reed. What I don't understand is why Earl Bailey would ask the coach about any issue if the federation right would ask if the federation have given, because I think part of your job as the public relation officer or press officer is to promote the JFF. What would you ask a question that if the coach probably were to talk all the things, negative would come up? That's the only part of the interview I have a problem with. I mean, apart from the noise in the background and stuff, because I think it was very impromptu, which they need to have, like I said, an area. But I don't know what would have led to it. Why, if it was at the coach's request or, I don't know. But yeah. But listen, Catherine, let me say me about yeah, I have to go down to Fort Lauderdale.
Yes.
Yes.
See how about the shampoos in a Martin County, you know. But
Martin County, yo, so well, I don't know about what kind of dogs you have, but the place where we go, the people,
you know it place, brother.
People have some dog, because a big facility when we go look at the field. And the dog, look at the dog, them racist, bro. The dog, them, big old dog, them almost reach me on my neck. No, they don't reach on my neck, but I'm beside the dog, they reach me. Me have to hide. My brethren dead, me have to hide behind him, and he must say, go back to mommy. The dog. One is what I say, bro, we can't even come yourself without dog, go bite me. I tell you, big old man said, dog, me I tell you the cataract, let me see, we go look on the field and just rush out like mad this.
Those places, but they have a lot of dogs, man.
And there's a lot of land space.
It's a rural part of Central Florida, that.
There you go. Yeah, man.
So, look, I just hope you find a facility like that or identify a facility like that in England. Because as I said to you, I always believe that the core of the elite recruiting starts in England and augmented by USA and Canada. And of course, Jamaicans elsewhere in the world. But we know you have to try on. I don't know if you are forward back to Jamaica where you go a place, or if you are.
You see, me have a look at thing, I go try make you want to shout about the Bible or holy water. the dog my atheist, man, and I believe in the Bible or water. They would still rush me. Yeah, man. But listen, Cataract, yes, I'm gonna let you know what's gonna happen. So I'm probably show you when we reach them at Fort Lauderdale and let
yeah, man. Big up all the man and Dre anyway though. The whole of the Florida man, them big up there themselves. You see me, I say. And yeah, man, I have a safe journey down in 95 there.
You see.
Take it easy. You see what I say?
I don't know now. So, say traffic will probably take longer now, okay? You'll probably walk up on some traffic.
Yeah, rush hour traffic. I don't know you leave them time. A bumper to bumper traffic, in every city that you have to pass, My G. But they I hope the team lands safely and has a good night's rest, and look forward to seeing what comes out of their training, what things come out of their training thing. And you were going to answer the question about John Russell. That's the last thing I say. I have a closing.
Listen, like what I heard today is that like before they left, I heard that the general manager was there and it was about to be done, so he was going to get it. That's what I heard. So I don't know if that has changed or it never came through because the flight leave. So yeah. But Cataract, like I say, the 95, you probably take the turnpike and play be a toll all the way through. But so the Yeah, man. Say me I'll meet in the press at the field, me I do some coaching, next person. A lot of the people I meet, but we probably take the turnpike, Cataract, man. And avoid the traffic. People don't want to be late.
The pike always have some accident pipe. I don't know why.
That's the thing, no. You understand me?
It's a smaller highway, so you don't have as many lanes. But whichever way God guide you, just take that way there. Safe travel. And the whole man them for all the faith. Can you confirm where the game is going to be shown in Jamaica? Televised?
Yeah, is it true now? Watch it. Oh, will it be shown in Jamaica?
Yeah, that's the
Flow Sports bring the game. Flow Sports bring the game because the Trinidad game going on Flow Sport now.
Oh, Flow Sports bring the game.
Yeah, man. Beat in the press. See me here, man. We see Beat in the press. I play some ball at the field when I do some coaching. Big up yourself, Beat in the press, man. Flow Sport. Yeah, they must say Flow Sport, Cataract.
Flow Sport, 7 p.m. So man just find a favorite spot.
And before the game, I tell us if you go watch, watch Trinidad and Tobago at Job 7.
Well, if they don't drop 7, boy, they boast. They hype up boast, sir.
The man them tell me say before beating the press, I tell me say expect traffic. So me cutting out.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Yourself, This is management. I am sure sports. Big up to Cataract. All the people in the comment section. Remember, before you go, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you have not yet, subscribe. Hit the like button, man, and share the content. You understand me? It was a super Friday, super discussion. Blessed love to all of you. I am Mannings, man. Yeah, man. John Russell on the plane. There we go. I am Mannings, man. You understand me? This has been I am sure sports, and we say we are over, and we are OUT out of here.